Shazam?
Yes! Carry my name!
Shazam Origins Explored. Today we'll be talking about a famous DC character who is considered almost as strong as Superman and the controversy's child in the comic book industry. It is our Billy Batson, aka Shazam. Shazam was initially known as Captain Marvel and belonged to Fawcett Comics, first appearing in Whiz Comics issue 2. Created by writer Bill Parker and artist C.C Beck, when the character appeared in the comics around 1939, it brought Fawcett Comics to a legal entanglement with the DC Comics, as Captain Marvel was very similar to DC's Superman. Following this, Fawcett stepped back and sold their rights to Captain Marvel to DC. At the same time, Marvel Comics had a character named Captain Marvel, so DC renamed the character to Shazam. Shazam is an acronym for 6 immortal gods. When Billy Batson says the word Shazam, he is bestowed upon with the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, the stamina of Atlas, the power of Zeus, the courage of Achilles, and the speed of Mercury. There are different origin stories in the two comics, and the recent 2019 movie titled Shazam also has a different story for Billy Batson. So, without further delay, let us dive into today's video where we'll go explore different origins and interesting storylines of Billy Batson, aka Shazam. But before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Now, let's begin. Shazam's new origin from the movie. The DC Films had a solo movie on Shazam released on March 28, 2019. Directed by David F. Sandberg, the role of Billy Batson was played by Asher Angel, and Shazam's was by Zachary Levi. The movie's iteration for the character matches pretty well, at least with the part of showcasing an immature superhero. The film's main antagonist was Dr. Sivana, played by Mark Strong. As the movie starts, young Sivana travels in a car with his father and brother during a snowstorm in upstate New York in 1974, when he is unexpectedly taken to the Rock of Eternity. After the last champion unleashed the 7 deadly sins which destroyed the rest of the Council of Wizards, the ancient wizard Shazam has spent decades looking for his champion who possesses a pure heart of whom to bestow his power and name as champion.
You must demonstrate that you're pure of heart and strong in spirit.
Thaddeus is enticed by the Eye of Sin, which allows him to hear the voices of the sins confined in stone statues, and promises him power if he can free them. He, however, fails the wizard's test and is sent back to his reality in the car. When Thaddeus tries to explain what he just saw, his violent father and brother refuse to accept his narrative. His father's verbal abuse and his loss of concentration lead to an accident, leaving his father crippled and paralyzed from the waist down, with his brother and him blaming Thaddeus.
You did this!
No.
Thaddeus receives a message from the Sins via an 8-ball toy, instructing him to locate them. In present day, Billy Batson, a 14-year-old foster boy from Philadelphia, frequently runs away from foster homes in quest of his birth mother, from whom he is separated 10 years ago at a carnival. Several cops in a store and uses their computers to look for his mother, but he is unsuccessful. Victor and Rosa Vasquez place him in a group home with 5 other foster children: Mary Bromfield, Pedro P., Eugene Choi, Darla Dudley, and Freddie Freeman, a superhero fanatic. Meanwhile, the disgruntled Sivana succeeds in his lifetime goal to return to the Rock of Eternity by sketching the 7 symbols on a door, thanks to multiple tales of similar encounters. He takes the Eye of Sin and becomes the Sin's receptacle, defeating the wizard and using his newfound dark magical power to kill his father, brother, and the board of directors of Sivana Industries. Billy is pursued into a subway and taken to the Rock of Eternity after defending Freddy from bullies at school. Billy is chosen as the wizard's new champion, and by repeating the word Shazam, he is converted into an adult superhero. The magician vanishes, leaving behind his magical staff. At home, Freddy gains Billy's trust and assists him in exploring his newfound abilities, including super strength and speed, near invulnerability, and the ability to manipulate electricity.
Hey, but look at...
He may revert to his regular body by shouting Shazam again. Billy starts skipping to school to utilize his skills to busk for money and fame, putting his friendship with Freddy to the test. Sivana approaches Billy after he inadvertently endangers and saves a busload of passengers, asking that he hands up his abilities.
Give me your power.
Billy realizes that he can fly and manages to flee. Sivana discovers Billy's true identity and kidnaps his foster siblings. In exchange for their protection, Billy promises to give Sivana his abilities. They travel to the Rock of Eternity in order to use the wizard staff to complete the transfer, but the children pursue them and assault Savannah. When all 7 sins depart Savannah's body, Billy notices that he becomes defenseless. Savannah tracks them down to the Winter Festival when the sins are unleashed on the populace. Billy uses the staff to share his talents with his siblings, making them into adult superheroes like him as he recalls the wizard's teachings. After that, he destroys the staff and his siblings fight the sins while Billy battles Savannah. Billy renders Savannah vulnerable by coaxing forth the final sin, envy, and yanks the Eye of Sin out of his skull, recapturing all the sins.
Nice.
Ta-da!
That's disgusting.
Fatality.
Billy and his siblings are heroes in the eyes of the public. They return the Eye and the 7 sins to their prison and discover that the Rock of Eternity may be used as a superhero headquarters. Billy embraces his foster parents and siblings as his true family for the first time.
Maybe this time I'd stay. I mean, after all, I'm home.
He spends lunch with his brothers at school in his superhero guise, surprising Freddy by announcing that he has also invited Superman. A talking caterpillar approaches the imprisoned Savannah in a mid-credits sequence and suggests an alliance. The movie is a good take on the character's origin and is a debut film for Shazam. Zachary Levi seemed like the perfect cast for the character as he portrayed both heroism and immaturity in a best-suited way. He also had a different look for Dr. Savannah, who has been an arch-enemy of Captain Marvel since his appearance in Whiz Comics.
I'm big.
Shazam Original Comic Origin. Fawcett Comics had their own origin story for Shazam, or Captain Marvel. Appearing for the first time in Whiz Comics issue 2, Billy Batson belonged to a wealthy family. Things were good till Billy's parents died, following which his wicked uncle took possession of all of his inheritance. The story begins with young Billy Batson selling papers in the middle of the night adjacent to a subway station when a mysterious man in a black coat approaches him. The man asks him why he isn't home so late, to which Billy tells him that he has no home and has taken shelter in the subway station. The mysterious man takes Billy into the subway before a strange subway car arrives. The man asks Billy not to be afraid and get on board as everything has been arranged. Perplexed, Billy gets in the subway car. The moment they get seated, the vehicle starts at tremendous speed through a pitch-dark tunnel. The car stops at a huge cave resembling the mouth of a mysterious subterranean cavern. The Phantom Man takes Billy deeper into the cave into an ancient underground hall carved out of rock. The place was lit with flaring torches and had carved out figures of monsters signifying the 7 deadly enemies of man: pride, envy, greed, hatred, selfishness, laziness, and injustice. An old man sitting at the end of the cave calls Billy by his name, to which the tense Billy asks, "How did you know my name?"
Now, Billy Batson.
You know my name?
The old man introduces himself as the bearer of powers from Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury. He tells Billy how he has been battling evil forces for 3,000 years. Since Billy was born, he has observed Billy through his historama and has chosen him to become his successor.
Chose a new hero.
Who?
Why, you, of course.
A massive chunk of granite tied to a worn-out string appears above the old man. He requests Billy to say the word Shazam. Billy says Shazam and gets transformed into a muscular man in a red costume with a lightning symbol on his chest. The chunk of granite tears the worn-out rope, crushing the old man into dust. An epic battle between 2 heroes from Justice League Unlimited. The Justice League Unlimited animation had one of the most epic battles in the DC universe, Shazam vs. Superman. In an episode titled Clash, we get to see Shazam, aka Billy Batson, as a younger kid of nearly age 10. The show addressed Shazam as Captain Marvel, a newbie to the Justice League, who saves the day from Parasite. Superman is unaware of the new entry and gives him a cold welcome. After a new superhero saves the day, media and press reporters surround Captain Marvel for an interview. Being a teenager on the inside, Captain Marvel makes statements about giving second chances to everyone and cites the example of Lex Luthor, a villain transformed into a good and running for presidential elections.
Well, just look at Lex Luthor. He used to be a supervillain for Pete's sake, and now he's one of the good guys.
This statement boomerangs him as it seems like the Justice League is endorsing Lex Luthor. Superman is infuriated by his actions and warns Captain Marvel about making any public statements without the consent of the League members. Captain Marvel protests his point, but Superman bans him from any press interactions.
You are not to make any more public statements without running them past the League first.
Meanwhile, Lex announces his inauguration date for Lexor City, a place made for children and families who cannot afford a stable life in the city, and sends his invitation to Superman. Superman and Batman, while fighting off supervillains, learn that they were stealing weapons-grade kryptonite, which was secured under devices made by LexCorp. Superman attends to Lex's invitation, but senses a hidden device under Lexor, more like an explosive. He shouts out for everyone to clear the space and starts breaking the ground, destroying the children's park. Lex and Captain Marvel arrive to stop him and tells him that the device does not have any explosive, but kryptonite energy, which will offer free and clean energy to the city.
Not a bomb, an experimental fusion engine. It'll supply nearly free energy to everyone who lives here.
Superman does not buy that and pushes Lex Luthor and Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel tries stopping Superman but gets tossed into the air by his punch. Captain Marvel retires from being polite and punches Superman back into a building. The two exchange massive blows, which wrecks Lexor City. They tear through buildings and throw heavy vehicles at each other until Superman slams an entire bank vault on Captain Marvel several times. With Captain Marvel down, Superman penetrates the ground searching for the device. To his surprise, Captain Marvel comes back and tries hitting him but fails as he is now weak. However, Captain Marvel has one trick up his sleeve, and that is magic, which is also one of Superman's weaknesses. Captain Marvel grabs Superman from the back and shouts out the word Shazam, which made a massive lightning bolt hit Superman. He does it twice, but on the third count, Superman frees himself and grabs Captain Marvel instantly, which makes the lightning bolt hit Captain, transferring him back into young Billy Batson. As Billy tries to repeat the word Shazam, Superman covers his mouth, defeating him. Superman melts down the device, which is later proved harmless, as Lex Luthor explained earlier.
It, seems to be exactly what Luthor said it was.
Back at the Watchtower, Captain Marvel quits the Justice League, stating that it is more meant for heroes. Superman feels guilty, but Batman tells him that this was all framed by Lex Luthor to bring down Superman's image in front of the world. Towards the end of the episode, we see a new character who is part of Lex's plan, and that is none other than Amanda Waller. Shazam vs. Black Adam, Amazing Story, and New 52 Origin. In the New 52 story arc, we got to a different origin story for Shazam and a fight between Shazam and Black Adam. Black Adam was a successor chosen by the Wizard before Billy Batson. Black Adam initially saved his country Kahndaq from the Seven Sins but later disappeared. The story was written by Geoff Johns in Shazam Comics Volume 1. The plot begins with Dr. Sivana investigating a case of mass dystopia. Different people with no connections had experienced a strange event where they were taken to a mystical place by a wizard after they boarded an elevator. Dr. Sivana examines their statements and concludes that the history of Black Adam is true and magic exists, which is his only hope to save his family. There is a kid who has been running away from every foster he is kept in. Billy is now with the Vasquez family and with other foster kids. And one day, when the child is bullied, he tries to save him.
Man, sorry about that.
Later one night, when he is strolling, the bullies chased him down to the subway, where he had no option but to get on a metro. Billy escapes the bullies, but the train is not an ordinary one. Suddenly, lightning bolts start appearing, and the train is taken off at a tremendously high speed, taking him to the Rock of Eternity. There, the wizards explained to everyone how he defended the world from evil forces and asked him to say Shazam so that his powers could move on to him. Billy says the word, and then we get to see Shazam.
Shazam?
Yes! Carry my name!
Dr. Sivana, on the other hand, scourges the planet for Black Adam and his magic, and when he finds him, Black Adam kills every other member of Dr. Sivana's exploration team. Black Adam learns that the old wizard has found his champion, and the only way to achieve what he wants is by killing the champion. Both Sivana and Black Adam look for Billy. Black Adam eventually finds Billy, who transforms into Shazam, and the fight starts. Black Adam asks Shazam to transfer his powers. However, Shazam escapes by transforming and hiding. Billy, along with the other foster kids, learns more about Black Adam and concludes he is also a little kid whose parents were killed in Kahndaq, leaving him and his uncle. Black Adam finds Billy, but Billy says the word Shazam and transfers his powers with the other foster kids, creating the Shazam family. Billy tries to talk with Black Adam by telling him that he is a hero and whatever happened to his parents is unfortunate. To this, Black Adam tells him that he is not the child but the uncle. When the child shouted Shazam to get his powers, he stabbed him and killed him, thereby making the bolt of lightning fall on him. Billy is now scared and realizes that he has messed it up. He manages to goad Black Adam to say Shazam, following which a lightning bolt hits and transforms into his former self. Now, Black Adam has not changed back in centuries, for which, the moment he transformed, he withered away. Shazam's storyline in DCAU. Shazam had different roles and appearances throughout the DC animated universe. In the Justice Flashpoint paradox, he was known as Captain Thunder. Shazam from another timeline is formed when all the foster siblings say the word Shazam together. A ferocious Wonder Woman killed him after a tough fight. Shazam's appearance in Justice League War was more like the known origin story. In the animated show, a team of superheroes comprising Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Flash, Green Lantern, and Shazam fight Darkseid and his army of Parademon from invading Earth. Shazam was also present in Justice League, Throne of Atlantis. Unlike the other members of the Justice League who prefer working solo, he visits Cyborg pretty often. During the fight with the Orm, he even used his trident to bring upon lightning and transform him back to Billy. In the recent animated movie, Justice League Dark: Apocalypse War, Shazam was seen but was killed ruthlessly by the Parademons. Things to definitely know. After Zachary Levi's rendition of Shazam, one of the DC Universe's most powerful superheroes, Billy Batson became one of the most recognized DC characters in the world. There's also no reason to dislike him, because he's not only a part of incredible narratives, but he's also tremendously funny and entertaining to be around, while the narrative of his mother abandoning him is heartbreaking. Billy doesn't seem to take things seriously, and who can blame him after obtaining his skills from a powerful wizard? Even yet, there are many things fans don't know about Billy Batson's Shazam, so here are some interesting facts about Shazam. Marvel had their version of Shazam, known as Marvel Man, later changed to Miracle Man. Miracle Man is a darker reimagining of the Shazam idea, but has a similar character trait and powers. This may not seem like much, but they had to give Shazam his own parallel reality once DC obtained the Captain Marvel rights. Billy Batson was granted his own reality, Earth S, with his own set of allies, adversaries, and other characters. This was because he was too similar to Superman, and the creators don't want the two to clash at the moment. Shazam is one of the DC Universe's most powerful superheroes. He can combat practically any DC supervillain or superhero since he is a legendary magical entity. Stargirl, who was a teenager at the time, developed a crush on him and everyone in the group thought it was a bad idea. Shazam then had no choice but to expose his true identity. Shazam didn't divulge his true status to the Justice Society of America when he first joined, so everyone assumed he was an adult. Shazam was the first superhero to establish his own family of superheroes. The Marvel family made an appearance in Shazam the movie. The fundamental notion of the family's primary premise stayed unchanged between film and comic, with a few major exceptions. It's worth noting that this was the very first superfamily ever created. Before Captain Marvel, not a single comic book publisher had considered it. In the film's big climax, the Marvel family had an appearance. Following some underwhelming solo experience on Earth S, it was decided to introduce Shazam into the main DC universe where he would first face Superman. But before he encountered Superman, he was pitted against the figure of steel by a man named Captain Thunder. Shazam was formally absorbed into the DC universe after the conclusion of the tale. Even if he hasn't been in the DCEU yet, everyone who has seen Shazam may have heard of Black Adam. He is Shazam's arch-enemy, yet he is an anti-hero rather than a villain. This powerful superhero was chosen as a successor to the power, but when he revealed his sinister intentions, he was exiled from the planet for 5,000 years. Following the events of the Crisis on Infinite Earths, Shazam was introduced into the DC universe. Shazam is a child named Billy Batson who inhabits the body of an adult superhero, making him the Justice League's youngest member. But don't rule him out just yet. He has a long history and extensive experience in the superhero industry. Billy Batson met a tiger from India in the early Captain Marvel comics. The tiger reappears in the modern Shazam comics, although his tail has been somewhat altered. Although the tiger's Genesis tail was different, he had many of the same features. He had a humanistic demeanor, he could talk, walk, and was quite clever. Only Shazam and his family could see a plush tiger named Takihani come to life. What makes him so powerful? Shazam's amazing superpowers are magical in origin, and he activates them by repeating the word Shazam, which magically changes Billy Batson into his adult alter ego. Shazam's abilities are drawn from 6 immortal elders. Although Shazam's talents are comparable to Superman's in that they are both very strong, super swift, and can fly, Shazam possesses other skills that Superman lacks. Shazam receives Solomon's wisdom. Billy gains access to intellectual information and the capacity to translate foreign languages and other perks of mental acuity, thanks to Solomon's wisdom in the comics. Shazam may also mesmerize individuals with Solomon's wisdom. Although Billy does not make extensive use of Solomon's knowledge in Shazam, he does so when it matters, such as when he uses the wizard staff to create the Shazam family.
Say the name that I say to turn into this guy.
Shazam receives Hercules' incredible physical strength, and he is known as the world's mightiest mortal in the comics, and his strength rivals that of Superman. Shazam utilizes this power to fight Savannah and the 7 deadly sins, as well as to catch a falling bus. Shazam receives his stamina from Atlas. Shazam is immune to most types of physical harm and has superhuman endurance.
It kind of tickles. You're dead.
This is extremely useful when Shazam is confronted with a pair of armed thieves, as well as when he fights Savannah, the 7 deadly sins, and even himself. Shazam receives his strength from Zeus, especially the power of lightning. Shazam is a mystical superhero who can use the ruler of the Greek gods' mystical lightning as an attacking weapon. He can utilize the lightning to morph back and forth between Billy Batson and Zeus, and in the comics he can also use Zeus's lightning to convey his powers to others. Shazam has the courage and combat skills of Achilles in battle. Shazam is fearless in the face of monsters and supernatural threats, even throughout the film. Shazam is also a 15-year-old child who must conquer his worries in order to gain the courage of Achilles. Shazam got his speed and ability to fly thanks to Mercury. Shazam has the ability to move at extraordinary speeds on foot and in the air. Shazam can fly at the speed of light in the comic books. It's unclear how fast he can fly in the DCEU, although he did manage to get control of the superpower in his origin film. While Shazam is much more than a magical version of Superman, he has accomplished many other incredible achievements in the comics. Solomon's knowledge, for example, gives him insight when danger is imminent and allows him to see through illusions and even malevolent machinations. Shazam possessed Marvel Breath, which could either be cold or fire. He can also perform spells since he possesses the wizard Shazam's magic. If Shazam does not want to fly, he can utilize the lightning to teleport to the Rock of Eternity or somewhere else. Billy uses all of his talents in Shazam, although not all of his capabilities are within his control. Where else has he appeared? Shazam TV series 1974 to 1977, Shazam, a successful program during its existence, made considerable creative liberties with the Captain Marvel source material, going so far as to influence the comic book's interim direction. The concepts of the TV show was the same as the comic book. A young Billy Batson says the word Shazam and is transformed into Captain Marvel, the world's mightiest mortal. Only in the television program does Billy talk directly to the animated character, endowing him with special abilities. Legends of the Superheroes, 1979. In this episode, Captain Marvel and other heroes join up to celebrate the retiring hero Scarlet Cyclone's birthday in the challenge, but are disturbed by the Legion of Doom. The Kids Superpower Hour with Shazam, 1981 to 1982. Hero High is an NBC Saturday morning cartoon about a group of superheroes at a high school who study how to fight crime. Young Justice, 2011 to 2013. Captain Marvel is voiced by Rob Lowe and subsequently by his brother Chad Lowe in several Young Justice episodes. Justice League Action 2016. In the series, Shazam is a member of the Justice League, and Sean Astin voices both of the characters' personas. In Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, Captain Marvel is a selectable character. Captain Marvel is a character in the DC Universe online video game. He starts the level 25 task thread, which takes place at and around Gotham University, in order to stop Black Adam and Felix Faust from resurrecting Adam's slain wife, Isis. He also gives emblem styles to flying characters that win platinum medals in flight races over Gotham and Metropolis. LEGO Batman 2 DC Superheroes. Shazam does not appear in the tale of LEGO Batman 2, but it is accessible as downloadable material in the Heroes Character Pack DLC for the console version. Shazam is an unlockable character in the portable edition. In the level assault, the VTOL has his mini-kit. He'll set you back 100,000 studs. Shazam is a superhero that can fly, has great strength, is indestructible, is resistant to electricity, and can discharge lightning bolts from his chest to destroy golden items. Injustice, Gods Among Us. Billy is a playable character in Injustice 2 who is a power user who wields mystical abilities borrowed from 6 ancient gods and heroes. Adventures of Captain Marvel, 1941. This serial is noteworthy since it was the first time a comic book superhero appeared on television. The greatest serial ever created, according to Republic Pictures. Adventures of Captain Marvel is quite a compliment given to the popularity and profitability of both Flash Gordon and the Buck Rogers serials. Superman Batman Public Enemies, 2009. Captain Marvel appears in the animated feature Public Enemies, which is based on the Superman Batman comic series' first narrative arc. There is a fight between Captain Marvel and Superman, much as in the comic book plot. The Return of Black Adam, 2010. Young Billy Batson is assaulted by Black Adam, but is aided by Superman. Nonetheless, Black Adam exploits Superman's sensitivity to magic. Shazam, 2019. In the 2019 live-action picture, Shazam will be played by Zachary Levi, who previously starred in the TV show Chuck. Asher Angel plays Billy Batson, Mark Strong plays Dr. Sivana, Jack Dylan Grazer plays Freddie Freeman, Grace Fulton plays Mary Bromfield, Ian Shen plays Eugene Choi, Faith Herman plays Darla Dudley, Johan Armand plays Pedro P., and Daimon Hansu plays the Wizard in David F. Sandbergs' film.
Why is it so dark? Probably would have been a good idea to have like one light on.
Everything we know about Shazam 2. Here's all we know about Warner Brothers and DC's Shazam receiving a sequel. Cast, release date, and plot details for Fury of the Gods. The God's Fury, Shazam, was released in theaters in 2019 by Warner Brothers and DC Films, and the film was a huge hit, so it won't be the last time fans see the original Captain Marvel. David F. Sandberg directed the first Shazam picture, which stars Asher Angel as Billy Batson, a foster youngster with magical talents who can turn into a superhero. He transforms into the best version of his future adult self, a towering, strong hero played by Zachary Levi, when he uttered the word Shazam. The film garnered positive early critical reviews and proved to be a fan favorite, generating $366 million worldwide. The initial release date for Shazam 2 was April 1st, 2022, which prompted many April Fool's pranks. Unfortunately, that release date has been postponed due to the ongoing epidemic, and Shazam Fury of the Gods will now be released on June 2nd, 2023. This revised release date, which has previously set for November 2022, places it 6 months after Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Shazam 2 will most likely be a theater-only release. Shazam Fury of the Gods will reassemble much of the original cast and crew, with director David F. Sandberg, writer Henry Gayden, and producer Peter Safran all returning. Daimon Hansu, Megan Good, Grace Fulton, Ross Butler, and DJ Kotrana, Zachary Levi, Asher Angel, Jack Dylan Grazer, and the rest of the main Shazam cast all reprised their roles for the sequel. While Levi confirmed that The Rock's Black Adam would not feature in the picture, Fury of the Gods has added Rachel Ziegler, Helen Mirren as Hespera, and Lucy Liu as Calypso, Atlas's daughter, the latter two of whom will undoubtedly cause some havoc. Mark Strong, who plays the evil Dr. Thaddeus Sivana, will not be reprising his role. While there is no official narrative information for Shazam 2, it looks like that Hespera and Calypso will return as the sequel's main antagonists. With Dr. Sivana out of the picture, it's unknown whether Mr. Mind, the malevolent caterpillar appearing in Shazam's post-credits sequence, will return in the sequel. Hespera and Calypso don't exist in DC Comics, so it's unknown what functions they'll play in the movie, although they're bad intentions. Because Zegli's daughter, the youngest of Atlas's children, is the only one of the three daughters whose name has yet to be revealed, she'll probably be pitted against her sisters. Their role in the story explains the sequel's title, Fury of the Gods. However, Shazam vs. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Black Adam is the key confrontation that many fans have been hoping to see since 2014. He is a past champion in his own right, and Shazam really does set a lot to set the stage for his eventual appearance. Johnson's Black Adam, on the other hand, will make his debut in his own film. The standalone Black Adam picture has been in the works for a while and will eventually hit theaters on July 29, 2022 after production ends in August 2021. Despite being one of the character's principal enemies, Black Adam will not appear in Fury of the Gods despite being a Shazam spin-off. However, if all goes well and Levi's character gets another chance to appear on screen after Shazam 2, there's always the possibility that Black Adam would return in a sequel to Shazam 2. The character of Black Adam is introduced, and it may be the best to wait off on a potential fight between him and Billy until he has fully mastered his Shazam abilities. And hey, if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.
This is so cool! And all I had to do was say Shazam!